Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the watch party. Not the watch tower, but the watch party of The Boys Season 4, Episode 5. I'm joined today by my co-host, Sean, Mr. Nerd Cosa Nostra, and we have a special guest.
Ryan.
Yeah, get down there. Yeah.
Get the fuck down there. And we have a special guest, Mr. Ryan Doobie. You guys know him from Zever Fett, or AKA Zever Comics.
Yep. Had to rebrand because Star Wars is in the gutter.
Star Wars is in the gutter. It's not looking too hot right now.
I was ruling with respect, but now I'm out of that. Out of that game.
Ruling with respect. It's not very good.
Abandoned ship.
Abandoned
exactly.
ship.
I took one of the escape
pods.
Yeah. The damage doesn't look so bad from out here.
It's such a random statement that's in that movie where he's like, oh, the damage doesn't look so bad from out here. It's like,
yeah.
What?
But there was such a great statement because yes, all the fighting and everything happened on the inside of the ship. It just looks calm and peaceful out there.
Yeah, it does.
So that's awesome.
You know, it's funny because I know we're talking about Star Wars, but we're going to stop. Don't worry. I think it's funny because earlier today I decided, you know what? I'm going to watch Ahsoka again, right? So I watched the first 2 episodes, and even that was better than anything the Acolyte had put out. I was like, see, this is good. I like this. And it was just better. It just looked better. It looked like a higher grade. It felt more
that's
cinematic.
Because it's Dave Filoni. He's going to give a shit.
Yeah.
You know, that's his baby.
Yeah. What's up, Ruthie?
What's up?
Hi, Ryan. But today we're not talking about Star Wars. Today we're talking
what do you guys
about
think
the
about
Boys.
the Superman suit? No, I'm joking.
Today we're talking about The Boys Season 4. Okay, so kind of rounding up where we left off. Sean, you want to give us a little recap on where we left off in the last episode?
Oh, man. There was a lot that happened last episode. So, I mean, I think we can start with the biggest thing. Well, we'll save the biggest thing for last. That's going to be our Homelander. So the maybe the more surprising things is when we saw Huey's mom show up.
Yeah.
His dad had a stroke, so his dad's in the hospital on life support. Mom shows back up. We've only heard of his mom since season 1. She left him when he was little, but she shows up. Seems to be at a very odd time, right when dad is about to be taken off life support. So Huey with Kimiko goes get some of the V with the help of A-Train.
Compound V, yeah.
Compound V, yep. They get help from A-Train to get this out of Homelander's, we'll say his flat, his apartment, whatever you want to call it, his flat. And then obviously A-Train finds some interesting things, finds a bunch of whole drawer full of bottled milk, which was I don't think too surprising for us, but maybe it's more surprising for A-Train. But the one thing that was surprising was a lot of the Compound V was missing. We noticed a lot of vials were gone. So that has not been explained yet as to whether it's Homelander taking it, is it somebody else taking it that we haven't seen yet.
There was quite a few missing.
There was quite a few missing.
And then of course his vials, like you said, his vials of milk, that was that's so disgusting. It's like
what, do you think that was from Elizabeth's shoe?
It may have been. Or he has
she's
another
still
supplier.
in the show somehow.
He has another
supplier.
supplier.
They have to pay her royalties. You know, they're like, "Oh, we're using your milk."
If that was Disney, they'd have been like, "No, we need our own milk. We don't want to pay her royalties.
Milk needs to be green."
This is we need Disney milk.
Yeah,
we need Disney milk from one of those
walruses. We can't pay George any royalties. You know, it can only be our money. But anyway,
Space Walrus.
So ultimately, A-Train meets back up with Huey, gives him the Compound V. Huey seems to kind of let we'll say forgive him, so to speak, right, for his past transgressions. So we believe Huey's intent is to give this to his dad. That's his intent to be. But when he gets to
a stupid idea.
Absolutely.
I was like, come on, Huey.
Especially since Huey knows what it's done to him, and now where Butcher is at. Butcher, he's on pretty much his last leg. We know his time is limited, but we're going to touch on him here in a second as well, because there was some very interesting things that happened to him in the episode. So Huey gets to the hospital, and you can tell he's battling that moral dilemma. He wants to save his dad, but then it's like, well, I know what this is going to do to him potentially if I give it to him. So we believe he doesn't give it to him. So he leaves the room. Mom stays in there. Huey comes back with some coffee. And next thing you know, we pan down and we see the compound V going through the IV right to his dad. Huey freaks out, doesn't know how this happened. But the mom, if you obviously have seen the episode, you'll notice the mom, ever since Huey walks back into that room, she's like literally staring. You can just tell where her eyes are gazed at is at the IV, as if she's just waiting for it to work its way through from like the IV bag on into him. So the question is did she lift this from Huey and give it to him while he was out of the room, or did she already have some of her own and give it to him, which then really opens the door to say, what involvement does she have that we haven't yet seen or heard about? Because how would she have had compound V herself without?
Well, didn't she work for like a pharmacy or something like that? Like she was a part of that world, you
Correct.
know. And I think that's probably, it wasn't his vial that A-Train gave him. I think she had her own.
And that's what we were thinking. That's what we were thinking too. So we're hoping in this episode that we find out. I mean, obviously his dad woke up. I mean, we saw his eyes open, and that was the end of kind of like that story for that episode.
Yeah, I was like, is Simon Pegg just getting an easy paycheck?
Yeah, just to lay there.
I think so. I think so.
So obviously, I can't imagine we won't see where that goes in this episode. So now to jump to, I guess we can touch on Butcher, because Butcher's role in this was kind of minor. So we see Butcher, Firecrackers given this big speech for this media company.
Ryan loves Firecracker, by the way.
I like how she got ahead of, like she was like, you know what, you're not gonna get me. I'm just gonna I'll come out.
I'm gonna out myself.
I'm gonna out myself, and she did it masterfully. I mean, she read the script, but she did it masterfully. I was like, oh wow, dude, she like made it a fucking story of I was
like a redemption story.
Yeah, redemption story. And I was like, man, that's really good. I like how they spun that.
Yeah, I forgot. Right now is the debates.
Debates.
Yeah,
the presidential debate.
I'll watch the highlights later.
Yeah. So we find Butcher in this trailer. I can't remember the character's name, but he's the pastor that we've seen in previous seasons.
Oh yeah. Because he was in the other place. He was getting his dick sucked from across the room.
Correct. Yep,
yeah.
Yep, there you go.
But I like how he died. I was like, oh.
So that's just the thing. So Anthony and I on the ACS Universe were talking about this on Monday, and one thing Andre, you and I didn't talk about, which I went back and watched the episode again after we did. And when Butcher is on the ground, he's about to die. He's being choked, and we see this. We know this. The parasite's gotten bigger because we saw it at the beginning of the episode. So it's not just around his temple; it's much larger now. So we see him about ready to die. We see the parasite moving around as if it knows my host is going to die or I'm going to die. Screen goes black. We hear all this noise, and Butcher wakes up. The guy's dead. Butcher doesn't know what's going on, but when Butcher stands up, he's got one thing I didn't notice the first time, which I did now. He's got all this blood on his back. I mean, he's covered it on his back. He's laying on his back, but now his back's covered in blood. So at some point, I don't think he was ever just laying down. During that blackout scene, he was actually up on his feet. This thing took over, killed him, and then he passed back out, or the parasite.
Yeah, it's like Venom.
Went dormant. Yeah, something like that. That's what Andre was saying last time. So hopefully, again, we'll see something more of that.
Well, that's where Ryan got it from. I told him about that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, thanks. Yeah. No, I appreciate
that. Or did Ryan tell you and you took credit for it?
No, because I did it live.
That's generally how things happen with this. There was a post on Twitter today about a green bald-capped lady that he was taking credit for.
Yeah, I did, because you weren't going to do it.
No, I wasn't going to do it, and I'm not going to.
Yeah,
I do it now.
I tried a video chat with you earlier to do it, and this is all you kept saying.
The Snyder Cut.
It's coming back, baby.
It's coming back.
Yeah. Oh, something is definitely bleeding.
Oh God,
that's just a horrible, horrible scene.
Oh man.
So yeah, so that's kind of what Butcher. That's where kind of we hope we see more of Butcher. But I think the biggest thing was Homelander's aspect of that entire episode. He goes back to the laboratory where he was tormented as a kid.
Oh yeah, he killed the fuck out of all those people.
And he goes after Frank first to play a little paper ball basketball in the trash can, throws him in the oven, cooks him up, and then he moves. I can't remember the other guy's name, but yeah, I think that was the more sadistic one.
Oh yeah,
The only one that we
blew his
know.
balls off.
Yep. So the only one that survived after having their Fudgy the Whale cake, ice cream cake, was Barbara Finland, Finland, something like that. Her name is Barbara, but she was the main. She's the director that was primarily in charge, and so he left her alive, but killed everybody else that was involved in his upbringing. But
and it also shows too that he's always had some kind of female like superior figure throughout his life. You know, we saw Elizabeth Shue in season 1, Stormfront in season 2. We're seeing, you know, that he had one as a child. It was the last episode, and then of course he's got what's her face, Sister Sage, who's kind of that role right now. And the whole time in the previous seasons, he always had Queen Maeve just kind of around that he'd always kind of lean on. It was in a weird fucking way, but he would always do it.
Yeah.
But I'm anxious to see what's going to happen with Butcher, if he's going to turn into like this Venom type character, which I think would be really cool. And then if that's the case, then I don't think that he's going to be dying, because I think the symbiote, whatever that thing is going to keep him alive.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. Just for the simple fact that we saw he was about ready to die and it kept him alive.
Yeah.
So obviously, we
at least for the rest of this season.
At least, I think he'll be around next season. He's one of the main characters.
He's gonna die, and next season's the final season, and he has to. I think he has to die. I think he does.
He'll die in that season, probably.
Yeah.
But even Homelander, like when Homelander saw him, remember he was like, that thing's practically wrapped around your entire brain. But I don't think he called it a cancer. He just said that thing.
Yeah.
So maybe he saw it as a parasite as well, and he was just like, "What the fuck."
So one thing we didn't see this episode was obviously Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character. He was absent, and so was Ryan. He was absent as well.
Well, I'm here this week.
What's that? Well,
said,
you're here this week. Yeah. But,
no shit.
one thing I want to put out there before we get into the episode from episode 5 is we know Butcher's hallucinating. He's been doing it since the first 2 minutes of episode 1. He's seeing his wife, and we've seen that even in episode 4. I'm wondering if Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character is also a hallucination, because thus far, Butcher's been the only one that has seen him. No one else has seen him.
That's interesting. I didn't think of that.
I didn't think about that. Is that
but Andre will definitely take it and put it on
Andre will probably
social media.
Yeah.
He's doing it now.
I'll scream it out to the world.
Because I was thinking about this, I think the only time we've seen that character is only with
him. Yeah, that's.
And so I'm now wondering if he's now a hallucination as well, and he's trying to get Butcher to. So he's trying to get Butcher to kill Ryan, and his wife's trying to get him to save Ryan. So I'm wondering if
there's
that's
an internal struggle. Yeah,
exactly.
Fight, the dichotomy.
I'm hoping that
the dichotomy,
the yin and the yang,
the yin and yang.
So I'm hoping that might be the case. Because it would be an interesting, plot to the story that he's hallucinating 2 different moral dilemmas here on what to do with her kid.
Like
and then you got a Homelander who murdered all those people, and then he's gonna go back and try to be a father. Yeah,
with some milkshakes.
With some milkshakes.
You don't get a milk, and you don't get a milkshake.
Fuck that shit.
You don't get it.
We don't know where Ryan's been. I mean, he could be in his room the whole time. He could be doing God knows what. But I still think there's hope that at the end of this series that he's gonna be.
He's going to be the Superman of that universe.
That, or he's going to die killing Homelander. Who knows? But I think it's time for us to...
Or Soldier Boy will take him out.
Soldier Boy needs to come back. They put him on ice for a reason. That's what I'm saying. They put him on ice for a reason. He's going to come back next season. If not,
they're like, if you're not Batman, you'll come back as Soldier Boy.
Soldier Boy comes back and just kills everybody. Takes over. That'd be for me.
That'd be cool. I was actually watching.
Soldier Boy wanted to kill Ryan too.
Yep, he did.
Yeah, he did.
And that's why Butcher then teamed up with Homelander to stop Soldier Boy.
Yeah.
He's like, I fought the Nazis.
Bill Cosby's a real dad.
Yeah.
Real American dad.
Bill Cosby is America's dad.
Yeah. Man, he made some strong drinks.
Cause. That's so great. I love his character so much. When they came back, he's like, "Where's the chop suey fire sauce? They don't make that anymore. Well, why the fuck not? I can think of a lot of reasons.
Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. You made those words up.
Yeah. All right, I think it's time for us to dive into the episode. What do you guys think?
Sounds good to me.
All right,
Well,
here we
Ryan,
go.
well, Ryan, did you have anything you wanted to throw out there from what you've seen?
Here we go. Let's get rolling.
Oh,
Yeah, no, Ryan, go ahead. Go ahead.
Wow.
It's all yours.
Now I just want to say, man, long time viewer, first time, on the panel. Just really want to dive into this episode with you guys, and just kind of share that moment. Let's let's go.
That's the fact, Jack.
Oh,
No, I like the show. It's not the best season, but so far it's better than the Acolyte.
It's miles better than the Acolyte. And everyone's like, oh, it's not getting very good reviews. I think it's been great. I've had
That's the thing wasn't it the same thing with like X-Men 97? They were like, it's not getting good reviews. I'm like, but it's a fucking great show.
It's a great show.
Like, who gives a fuck, man? The people that are reviewing this are the people that are fucking weirdos that just...
Out of the three major shows that are out right now, which is obviously The Boys, The Acolyte, and House of the Dragon. I know you don't watch House of the Dragon, but House of the Dragon is the best out of the three of them. And then The Boys, and then The Acolyte is somewhere farther down the list. There's plenty of other shows out there that are ahead of it at this point.
yeah, man. We'd be better off doing a watch party of like the Golden Girls and Acolyte.
Golden Girls.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's go. I like me some
Even
Dwarf.
the name is stupid. The Acolyte. Like, it's meant to be dark, and it's not. It's
not. It's like
sucks.
the dark. It's like the Acolyte light.
Acolyte light.
No, 0 calories. Because it has 0 story.
She's like, I'm gonna give myself a haircut, and then nobody will know who we
that's
are.
the ultimate. Like I mean, I think they did better in fucking Parent Trap. When she cut her hair.
I mean, I think it at least would have been better if Discount Ezra Miller would have realized that wasn't May. Like, you're not May. Like, like at least one of them isn't stupid, but they're both stupid. They're like, oh, let me help you out.
Well,
it's just like,
you look like her. Are you going to use the Force? Fuck no. That expends too much energy.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that in Ahsoka, when Sabine went against, it was either Shin Hati or Balin Skull. I think one of them said you don't have Force powers or like you don't have Force abilities. Like, they can sense it immediately. You would think they'd be like, hey, you're not May. Like, you're like, I can't even sense the Force in you. You've already tuned it out. What are you calling? You calling a friend?
Phoning a friend.
Phoning a friend.
Ahsoka, I need to know about episode 1.
All right, let's play the episode already.
All right,
We got 43 watching, guys. I'm going to end the stream on YouTube. You could follow us on Twitch and over on X if you want to watch the episode with us. We'll go live again on YouTube after it's over to give you a quick kind of post show on how the episode went. But like I said, guys, if you want to follow us, make sure you follow us on Twitch or on X. So here we go, guys. We'll see you on the other side. And so follow us on X or Twitch